I said to a student of mine who was seeking some advice from me about prayer, I said, look, if Allah if a person comes to you and they give you in your hands, let's say somebody was to come and give you 240 pounds in your hands and say to you, here's 240 pounds free of charge, no interest. Free of charge, you have it. And they come to you tomorrow and they have 240 pounds, go and spend it. Free of charge. And they come the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. And one day they say to you, after about a good few years, after 10 years they say to you, now I'll carry on giving you 240 pounds a day, but I just want you to give me 10 pounds back in return. And on that day after 10 years you say to the person, 10 pounds? Sorry, can't afford it. Sorry, I can't afford it, can't give it to you. I haven't got enough. So the person comes to you again, next day gives you 240 pounds, says, give me 10 pounds back. You say, sorry, I can't. I can't, please, let me know. So next day gives you 240 pounds and you say, yeah, give it. Thanks. Next day he gives you 240 pounds, just puts it in the pocket, don't even look at him, ignore it. But he still gives you 240 pounds every day. La ilaha illallah. Allah gives us every day, He gives us 24 hours of time. Free. Live another 24 hours, He gives this to us. After 10 years of life, when we've just turned in puberty, Allah says, from now on, you will give me 1 hour back. Your Fajr, your Dhuhr, your Asr, your Maghrib, your Isha, if you put them together, how long will it take, brothers? With your wudu as well, how long will it take? About an hour. The whole day, about an hour, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 15 minutes here, that's it. Allah says, give me 1 hour back. The man says, I'm too busy, God. Allah says, give to me one hour, family and kids, God. Allah says, I gave you family and God. I gave you, as a God, I gave you family, I gave you your children, I gave you all of this. I'm too busy. I gave you work, I'm too busy. You know how that sounds? You know how that sounds? Allah's muazzin calls for the prayer and the person has no time to call, to answer the muazzin. Allah sends the time for prayer and the person's got no consideration, too busy. La ilaha, too busy. If he stuck you in a hospital bed tomorrow, you wouldn't be too busy. You wouldn't be too busy. And this is what I was going to ask, is that brothers and sisters seriously need to go and visit a couple of places. One is the graveyard. When you go to the graveyard, seriously, stand there. Rasulullah's sunnah is to just go to the graveyard, just to give salam to the people who passed away. Give peace. And say, actually stand there and say, Antum salafuna. To address the people of the grave. And to say, Ya ahl al-qubur. O people of the grave. Antum salafuna. You have gone before us. وَنَحْنُ عَلَىٰ أَثَرِكُمْ. And we are coming after you into your places. To actually say these words, they're not just Arabic words you say, they're things for the mind to think. And I'm not saying here, please, I'm not saying that you dress the people of the grave. You know, if Allah wants them to hear it, He will make them hear it. It's up to Allah. But sometimes they do hear these things, sometimes they don't. It's up to Allah. Okay, it's up to Allah and it's only, we say this because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam showed us this way. We come to the graveyard, that's one place. And visit it with what? How long for? A quick 5 minutes, engine still on in the car, get back inside, job's done, mom and dad are going to be happy, let me quickly go and enjoy myself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to sometimes spend up to half a night in the graveyard. Especially towards the end of his life. If you look in the Sahih Hadith, you will find Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam spending up to half a night standing in the graveyard, and you could hear that there is a cry, there is a sound of crying coming from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his tears are rolling down from his cheeks, from his eyes right down his cheeks. Why? Because my brothers, this is where we're going to. This is where we're going to. Minha khalaqnakum We created you from this. وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ, and in there you shall return. وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى, and you will come back out of there.